Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Like I said, sorry I wasn't able to get to you guys yesterday. What I wanted to do essentially was, I always want to go live after the game for the match reaction, but look, what happened yesterday is that I had work. I wasn't able to make it. Like I said, I do have a part-time job and got to make a living somehow. So I wasn't able to make it yesterday, so sorry about that. Was able to make it today, thank goodness. But yeah, there you have it. Of course, what I do want to say is that of course, make sure to follow me on the gram, on the Twitter as well, just because that is basically when I notify people when I will be going live. You could also click the bell on the YouTube channel as well. And I will always try to notify you when I go live versus when I don't. And of course, please do let me know if you guys do like this platform or not. I mean, I certainly like it. The only thing that I would have to say is that it does go a little bit longer than usual. Usually my videos would go on for a little bit. But there you have it. Let's see. Hilo Solo says, I don't want Bale to leave on a free. I do want him to go, though. Well, yeah, I mean, he does have to leave eventually, but on a free, that seems like that's what's going to happen, right? I mean, at this point, I think Bale's going to have to leave on a free. I think that's what's going to happen. Matthias says, Benzema made me very mad. Yeah, this is the Benzema we all kind of know. He's up and down, throughout the season. We do see these kinds of things with Benzema. Very, very characteristic of Benzema. We see his acclivities, his declivities. Sometimes he will not have those moments, where he's not able to finish. And that's potentially why we have Luka Jovic in the team, to be able to finish those kinds of chances, Hopefully, Benzema, he is more of a playmaker at the end of the day. I wouldn't say he's a good striker. His finishing is questionable, but he can definitely, he definitely provides something else to the team, and I do like Benzema for that, I have to say. But anyways, what I do want to get started with actually is the Gareth Bale situation. Of course, like Hilo Solo said, and sorry I don't get your names right. Sometimes the pronunciation, I don't get it right, and so sorry about that. But there you have it, Gareth Bale. This is the first news for today. He's going to China. And yeah, that would be kind of sad. Wish it was Spurs, says Hilo Sol. I really liked Rodrigo, Hazard, Modric, and Cruz. Kubo was fun too. Yeah, Kubo was excellent. I mean, from what I saw, man, he looks highly mature, highly composed. For a guy that, 18 years of age, just looks great on the ball, He looks overall like he's very talented. I liked Rodrigo, Hazard. Yeah, all those players were fantastic. Modric, I thought, was super, super good. And Cruz. Matthias says, Hazard impressed me very much. He made so many... yeah, I thought so too. Hazard on that left-hand side, on the left-hand side, he really did create a lot of good chances. He really did impress me from what I saw in the highlights. I really think him and Jovic will be a better duo. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, Matthias, that Eden Hazard and Jovic could be a better duo just because Benzema is not quite the best finisher. He's more of a... he's got both, but he's more of a playmaker for me, ultimately. He did have a good season last season, but, when you look at his career, it is a bit anomalous. I don't really see that with Benzema. Hilo Solo says, Jovic didn't get a single chance. Hope he plays with the main team next game. Yeah, that's what I heard from Luka Jovic, that he didn't get many chances with the team. Hopefully we'll see him more. We all know the quality that he has, so definitely would be great to see him. But the thing with Gareth, I do want to get to Gareth Bale just because, this is an official statement from Zinedine Zidane. We know that Gareth Bale was told by Zinedine Zidane that the sooner he leaves, the better. And this was in the match, not in the match reaction, but in the press conference, in the Zinedine Zidane's post-game conference, that Gareth Bale, the sooner that he leaves, the better it is. And not only for that, but for the club and for the player as well, for all parties involved. So. Of course, the media is just going to milk the heck out of it, and what they're going to say, they're going to admit the better for all parties, and what they're going to say is Gareth Bale told by Zidane that the sooner he leaves, the better. It's not exactly what he said. He said it for all parties involved. Now, you could see that, Bale and Zinedine Zidane, he did say it was sports-related, but, they're kind of overarching themes, sports-related and personal issues. It's hard not to intermingle those two. I mean, at the end of the day, they're players with feelings and stuff like that. It is sports related, but yeah. Let's see. Matthias says we need to make a profit on Gareth Bale. We have paid too much money for him. Yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, when you look at all the nooks, I mean, I think Gareth Bale, he's going to have to leave on a free. Unfortunately, Gareth Bale just seems so set to stay. He looks like a guy who's essentially going. He wants to stay at the club. You know, he looks very relaxed about the whole situation. It's just Real Madrid right now. They're in a frenzy. They're really looking to sell him really quickly. I think we might just have to let him go on a free. I also Bale was the reason I got into football and the reason I became a Madrid fan, and he was a success for us. Just the end is sad. Yeah, the end is so despondent for Gareth Bale. I think it's just such a sad way to leave Real Madrid. I wish he would have left in a much, much better way. But I guess it is what it is, you know. And I don't want to say he brought this up upon himself, but Gareth Bale hasn't really made it easy for himself in Real Madrid. You saw the celebrations that took place a few months ago. You know, he could have done a lot better than that for me personally. I thought it was a bit childish. I understand that Gareth Bale was feeling frustrated at the moment. But for me, I thought he could have handled that a lot better. And you look at his comments, I think it was last year where he wanted more playing time. He wanted more playing time, but essentially he was getting injured all the time. I mean, you know, he just made it kind of difficult for himself, I feel. And like Kyle Solo said, it is kind of sad for Gareth Bale. I love Gareth Bale. He's a very, very good player. He's still got the quality in him. It's very hard to rely on him. And ultimately, Zinedine Zidane will never fancy him, you know. Premier Pepper says rumors Bale and Neymar swap. Really? Well, if that would happen, I think I'd rather have Bale. I think I'd rather have Bale, to be honest, just because Neymar just has a ton of baggage. Bale does have the same. I would say Bale has an ego too, but it's not the same as Neymar. It's a lot more selfish. Bale is a bit. You know, I think the media makes him look to be like some sort of villain, and he's not that much. You know, when I look at what he does, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. Doesn't seem like a bad guy. Premier Paper says probably paper talk. Yeah, I think it's something to fill up the tabloids. I really don't think there's much in this. I mean, Neymar to Real Madrid, very, very contentious. Hilo Solo said, but we did the same with Casillas, sadly. And Bale publicly said he wants to leave in multiple occasions. And remember when we left El Clasico? Wait, let me read that again. But we did the same with Casillas. We did the same with Casillas. It was very, very sad. So I guess that's how it is at Real Madrid. Bale publicly said he wants to leave in multiple occasions. Yeah. Remember when he left it? Because he got subbed off. Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah, it's kind of sad. We'll have to see. And the Neymar reports come from the Independent, so don't read into it. Yeah, there you have it, I guess, from your paper. Don't read into it. It's just paper talk, like you said. So, yeah, this is, kind of sad, Gareth Bale, how he's going to have to leave. He looks like he's set to stay at the club, this guy. So I really don't know what's going to happen, It's, Zinedine Zidane has created such an ignominy for Gareth Bale. And it's, like I said, it's just sad. It's just sad. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's get into the match reaction here. Let's see if I can pull this up here. Bear with me. Sometimes it can be kind of slow. Sometimes it's kind of quick. Like I said, this computer can be quite capricious, but it works. Okay, it was kind of fast today, actually. So let me just move to the side here. We got, let's see. Oh, that's right. I got 10 out of 11 right yesterday on my starting 11. No, I'm just kidding, of course. Look. Yeah, it's pretty good for a preseason. Not bad, right? We lost, yes. Of course we lost 3-1 to Bayern Munich, but I'm not worried with this, and it didn't seem like Zinedine Zidane was either, which is very, that's a good thing, we do have to get a rhythm back. We have to find some form. The team has to, build some cohesiveness, and that's going to come with time, That's going to come with time and some practice. And the preseasons are just essentially there for getting the players fit and ready for the season. But of course, that doesn't exonerate all the players. That doesn't go without saying that some of the performances were a bit lackluster. And I think, like you said, Matthias, that includes Benzema and maybe, I don't know what you guys think of Asensio. Actually, Asensio, from what I've heard, it was ambivalent. There was, some mixed reports not really mixed reports, but mixed comments that he was good, that he was not good. But what do you guys think of Asensio? Let me know. Because Asensio, we all know the player that he is. A couple of years ago, he's a very good player. Maybe that is his ceiling, though. Maybe that is his ceiling. We all know that Asensio a couple of years ago, very, very high on confidence. He was coming into a Real Madrid team that were very, very good, that were at the apex of the footballing world. And Asensio, of course, came blazing on the scene. He's amazing. But hopefully we do get to see that Asensio this season. But from what I heard, it wasn't all that great last game. But I mean, we'll just have to see. Let's see. The other thing I want to talk about is Modric. Modric was fantastic today, which is great to see. He didn't have the best of seasons last season, but if we can get a Modric back, that's great. That's healthy and fit, I guess. That would be good. We know he's a very good player. He's got all the quality, but he is dwindling down. I believe is he 33, 34? I don't even know how old he is, but he is dwindling down a bit. So we do have to get another midfielder for me. We do have to get another midfielder for me. Like I said, ultimately that is Paul Pogba. Some people it'll be Christian Eriksen. We'll just have to see. And Zinedine Zidane didn't close the door yesterday when it came to Paul Pogba. He left the door very, very open for Paul Pogba to come at Real Madrid still. So we'll have to see what happens. Obviously Paul Pogba did say he wanted a new challenge. I think he's going to come to Madrid. I'm still sticking with the 95% sure that I said earlier. Still sticking with that. So Hilo Solo says, Modric and Kroos were great, but our midfield is so thin. Yeah, I know. That's so true. And that's the problem. We do need another midfielder. And especially if Pogba doesn't come. Exactly. For me, the midfield is so thin. The CDM, I think we need one more player in there. We have Casemiro, but then you have Valverde, who's 20 years old, man. This guy, I haven't seen it too much last season, and we know the potential's there. But to take on the backup position of CDM at Real Madrid, not yet for me. Premier Paper says most players didn't have a summer tournament, so it freshens up the players. Yeah, that's true. Premier Paper. They didn't have that summer tournament, so yeah. Hopefully we can see more of them in the near future. Let's see what I want us to say here. Eden Hazard looked good. As I mentioned earlier, he created a lot of chances. He brought a lot of creativity on the left hand side. He was very, very good. Hilo Solo says, I love Valverde, but he's not a DM. He's more of a Kroos to me. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too, actually. Hilo Solo. The defensive duties, he doesn't seem like a pivot to me. He seems more of a guy who can take on a double pivot role. Maybe we could see that with Kroos and Valverde or something like that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. I want to talk about the goals too. The first goal, what do you think of that? I mean, what I saw from the first goal was that Varane was a little bit too high up. Rodrigo was supposed to cover the fullback. That's usually the responsibility of the forward, I think, is to cover the fullback. Rodrigo was behind Alaba. Alaba just made a run through this channel. Carvajal was asleep. Alaba was able to make that run very easy. Gets the ball, crosses it in, and I think Isco, he doesn't really do his defensive duties, and ultimately Kroos is left with the two Bayern Munich players in the box, and then Kroos is left by himself. A very easy goal for Bayern Munich, just makes it 1-0. Courtois, I'm not going to give you any stick, bro, because you didn't have any fault in that. So for me, Courtois yesterday, no stick whatsoever, because all the goals, there wasn't much you could do about them. The second goal, obviously Lewandowski, excellent first touch from Lewandowski. Makes a shrewd run in between the channels. Offside trap could have been played, I feel, there. But there was some inexperience. And then Nacho, I thought, was a little bit slow to get there. He jogs back, ball tracking to Lewandowski. Center back gets left one-on-one with Lewandowski. And then, of course, Lewandowski gets a very good first touch, creates half a yard, and then gets the goal. That's just my opinion. That's very, very subjective when it comes to tactics sometimes. Let's see. Matthias says, Eriksen will be more realistic and affordable. Manchester United won't sell Pogba this season. Well, Pogba did say he was seeking a new challenge. I think he said something else too. I can't remember what he said, but I don't know. That one's still up in the air for me. But yeah, Manchester United, they're very adamant on Paul Pogba staying. Ed Woodward, we all know that Paul Pogba just brings in a cash load of money, and Ed Woodward, we know that his favorite or his best friend is cash, right? So, Hilo Solo, Rodrigo already with the banger. I know, dude. Rodrigo's goal was amazing. Simply amazing. I would have to say, and this is coming from a Real Madrid fan, I do have to say he went down a little bit easy, Rodrigo, a little bit easy. But you know what? We got the goal, and that's all that matters. Mattia says, why was Kroos playing CDM? I don't know. Maybe he was playing a double pivot with Modric. So essentially, they were splitting up the defensive duties. I'm not sure. Maybe, like I said, purportedly it was. Oh, maybe it's on my lineup that I got it wrong. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know why. Sorry if I got that wrong in the lineup. I didn't mean to. Let's see. The third goal, the third goal from Bayern Munich, they were trying to play it out from the back. It was a 4 versus 4. One Bayern Munich is able to pass he's able to cover the two passing lanes because the two Real Madrid players, they're very close together. So that Bayern Munich essentially is able to cover the passing lane for both players, basically making it a three Real Madrid players versus 4, and then basically just gets the ball very, very easy from there. There's only one center back in the middle. Mendy, I think, is too high up on the pitch, and the center back doesn't get on the ball. And then it's a goal for Gnabry. I mean, he has a lot of space there, and it just makes it very easy for himself. Let's see. Does anyone know where Javi Sanchez is? Sorry, I didn't get to that. Hilo Solo. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you mean in the squad. Maybe I didn't put him in the squad, or was it yesterday or something like that? Sorry if I didn't get to that. Let's see. So yeah, that first goal from Rodrigo is obviously really, really nice, and I think Rodrigo did hint yesterday in the interview yesterday. He did hint that Zidane didn't want to play him in the middle. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't know how that's going to pan out. We'll have to see. We do have some players that could play in the middle, but there you have it. It is what it is. So the last thing that I do want to get into is the press conference from Zinedine Zidane. He had a lot of things to say here. So I'm going to go through this really quick. I don't want to make this too long, obviously. Some people, they don't like it when it's, the videos are too long, so I'm going to try to make it shorter. So there you go. Zinedine Zidane press conference. Let's get started. Now, Gareth Bale obviously was omitted from the squad. There was a question about this. They wanted to know what happened, and he said that he wasn't. This is what he said at the beginning of the press conference, and he said that he hasn't been selected because the club is trying to make an exit happen, and this is why he didn't play. We will see subsequently what happens next. So that was one of the first questions, I believe, from the press conference. I think. I'm not even sure now. And then the next question, obviously there was a plethora of questions when that happened. The next question was Gareth Bale's exit imminent, or will he not play the whole summer, or in the whole preseason? And then Zinedine Zidane said, we'll see tomorrow. If tomorrow, better. Hopefully it's imminent, not only for us, but for him too. The club is doing the things necessary. Kind of sad. You could just so Italian from Zinedine Zidane, but Hilo Solo says, I love Zidane, but so many people hated the press conference, which again, to me, it wasn't that bad. Maybe I'm biased. Why'd they hate the press conference, actually, Hilo Solo? I don't know if you could just elaborate on that. I don't know why people hated the press conference. Was it because of that comment that they thought it was kind of too ruthless from Zinedine Zidane? I don't know. Please do let me know. It was a little bit ruthless. I could see why. But, sometimes when you go live, those things do happen, Sometimes you do say more than you want to say, and, obviously sometimes when I go live on here, sometimes, maybe, I wouldn't say I say more than I want to say, but sometimes I say things that maybe I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So it does happen when you go live. Maybe sit down, that's what happened. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if I got another comment. Hello, so yeah, because everyone said it was so disrespectful and are hating on Zidane. Yeah, actually, I think I did see that a little bit. Yeah, it was a bit disrespectful. Everyone was kind of hating on Zidane for that, and I have to admit, it was a bit disrespectful. Look, Gareth Bale, man, I mean, he was one of the missing pieces to the puzzle. That ultimately led us to winning so many trophies at Real Madrid. If we wouldn't have Gareth Bale in the team, I can't imagine how many trophies we would have not won. Because he was such a great player, so influential in all the competitions he's been in. Finals, important games. It was always there. He was always there for us. Hilo Solo says also Bale's agent did say he requested Bale to not play because a deal is in place. Also, Bale doesn't want to lower his wages. That's why Spurs can't get him. Yeah, that's right. I did see that. Yeah, Spurs, financially speaking, I think that's impossible. And a deal is in place. Wow, okay. Well, we'll have to see. If you did say China at the beginning, it's kind of sad. I don't want to see Bale to China. He's a super talent. I don't think he deserves to go to China. He is injury prone, but come on, China, really? No. I don't want him to go to China. Obviously there was questions about Gareth Bale, whether it was a personal problem or sports-related problem, and Zinedine Zidane said nothing personal, just, it's sports-related. He said nothing against him. He says, I need to make decisions. Changes need to be made, and we will see what happens, but nothing personal. I thought that was kind of, like I said at the beginning of the video, I thought that was kind of weird. He said, I need to make decisions, changes need to be made, but nothing personal. Yeah, I mean, it's always personal, you know, it's always personal. You can't split the two. They're very, I would say, overarching themes. It's never that personal. Let's see. Hilo Solo says 2 China clubs want him and his agent is talking to both. I hope it's to Spurs, but it looks unlikely. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. China clubs want him as his agent. That's sad, you know, if we do see Gareth Bale in China, I mean, no, I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen. It would just be so sad, you know. I mean, I know Gareth Bale's economy, it is humiliating, but China? No. Matthias says, I really feel bad, but maybe it's actually good for both parties. I mean, for him to go to China, man, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you know, Jonathan Barnett really made him hard for himself when he said that he, you know, you had Manchester United not probably interested. There was some interest from Manchester United. And Jonathan Barnett, quick to repudiate those claims, didn't want him. He said, no, maybe he can fit in, but I don't think so. In the end, you had Bayern Munich. Nope. Easily remiss. Nope, not going to happen. Then you had, who else? There was one more club that were interested in, or potentially interested in signing Gareth Bale, and I can't remember who that was. Yeah, I think it was Spurs. And then Jonathan Barnett was like, nope, not going to happen. So Jonathan Barnett really just made it so difficult for himself. He should have left the door wide open, but I don't know. Hilo Solo says Bale could have left a hero after the UCL. Yeah, he could have left for a lot more money. I mean, like, we could have sold him for a lot more, and he could have gone on a lot better terms, but he decided to stay, I guess, and it is what it is. We can't go back to the past, you know, and the present is the present, I guess. In hindsight, it's very easy to say, but, you know, before it was just like, oh, we would have liked to stay him one more year or something like that. Let's see, the next question that was asked in the press conference, Gareth Bale's message hitherto was that Gareth Bale wanted to stay. Has that changed? And then he said, of course, look, you guys know the situation. That will change. I don't know if in 24 hours, 48 hours, but the situation will change, and that's good for everyone. Look, Zinedine Zidane did say 24 hours, 48 hours, but I think that's going to take a little bit more time. You know, these things do take a little bit of time. Maybe Rodrigo signed for us in 20 minutes, but it's not always how it works. Let's see. Matthias says Bayern. Yeah, Bayern for... I'd like to see Gareth Bale at Bayern Munich. I think he would be good for them. I think he would regalvanize the team to some extent. Maybe not entirely, but to some extent, and he would regalvanize also his career. You know, Gareth Bale, he's still got it in him. You know, I just don't think you could rely solely on Gareth Bale. Hilo Solo says also James looks like the Atletico deals. Man, if that deal gets done, I swear, man, Florentino Perez, come on, dude. You made some good transfers, man, but if you're gonna do that one, man, you gotta know what's going on in your brain, because that cannot happen. James to Atletico Madrid, it cannot happen. It cannot happen. You are letting a direct rival consolidate themselves by buying your rival's player. I don't know how to put it. That was not a good way to put it, but you're letting your rivals get stronger. You know, you don't make yourself weaker, but it's never a good deal when these things kind of happen. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this happen. James is a good player. He's got a lot of quality in him. If we do sell to Atletico Madrid, it's going to bite us back. But he is 28 and injury prone, so 50 million isn't that bad, even though I don't like that move. He is injury prone, but when he plays, he's very, very good. You know, he adds a lot of quality, you know, and if he does play, you know, every now and again, imagine if we do play Atletico twice a year, and imagine if we play Atletico in those 2 times in the year, and James does do something. It's not going to be great. It's not going to look good on the president, you know, even with all the transfers that have been done. No way. DOF is needed. DOF. Sorry, Matthias. I'm not sure what you mean. James Rodriguez. Yeah, there was a question about him yesterday too, and he says, I won't say anything about him. I'm only worried about the players that are here. Very succinct, very short. James Rodriguez, we know that he's going to go somewhere else. Like I told you guys, if he wasn't going to go somewhere else, I was going to do something embarrassing, and I know that's just not going to happen. Let's see. I just wanted to know if you were the one who asked the club for Gareth Bale's departure. Okay, yeah. There was one last question about Gareth Bale, and the last question goes, I just wanted to know if you were the one who asked the club for Gareth Bale's departure. And Zinedine Zidane just said, in the end, that's how things are. You know, I am the coach. I talk with the club, and we have to take decisions. And in the end, the departure is down to the coach. And then he said, and the player who knows the situation, and we'll see how this ends. I think he just wanted to appease. He just wanted to make it look a little nicer. But we know that ultimately that's his decision to kind of end Gareth Bale's tenure at the club. Let's see. And Matthias says, and we already let go of Llorente. I promise you. Yeah, exactly. We let go of Llorente. We let him go to Atletico Madrid, and Llorente had some promise. Okay, he wasn't the most, I would say, mobile player, is technically gifted, but he was man. And this puts us in such a precarious situation in the CDM, because now we have only Casemiro in that position. It's just. We could have had Llorente. We could have just said, you know what, Atletico, no, he's not for sale. That's not going to happen. And we could have stayed with Llorente. He wouldn't have been happy. Maybe he would have forced the transfer. But look, Real Madrid ultimately have the power in that position. Real Madrid ultimately have the power to say, you know what, Marcos Llorente, we can't sell to a club like that. They're direct rivals. Maybe you could consider elsewhere. We could have just waited. The transfer window still had a lot of time to go. So, yeah. Hilo Solo says, director of football. Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe we do need one. I don't know. Yeah, Florentino Perez. Sometimes he's just crazy, this guy, but he is good sometimes. I have to say, he does things that quite crazy. Me too, Matthias. Yeah. There you go. There you have it. So I think that's. Let's see. I think that's all the press conference. Yeah, that's all the press conference, actually. And then I did talk about the match. So overall, I just want to succinctly go over what I said. So at the end of the day, let's not worry too much. This is just a preseason friendly. Let's see. Hilo says, well, Llorente, they prefer Atletico, and James only has one offer because Napoli can't afford him. Yeah, that's the thing. He only has one offer. And yeah, exactly. Napoli can't afford him. So I guess so. It doesn't make sense in some way, but we still have the 31st of August. You can just wait a little bit and see how that goes. Llorente, they prefer Atletico. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Let's see. So to just briefly recap here, what I did want to say is that, overall, look, I wouldn't be too worried with what happened yesterday. We did lose 3-1 to Bayern Munich, but it's not the end of the world. It's just a preseason friendly. The first game of the season, then. You know what? Players do have to get their match fitness. That's really what the preseason is there for. It's just to get the match fitness. For these players. So hopefully these players do do come up with the goods. That's what we need in the. Thank you, Matthias. Yeah, thank you, definitely for the meeting in your life. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Always a pleasure. And it's okay. It's fine. We'll be fine at the end of the day. These players just have to pick up the pace a little. And we'll be fine. I think the exciting things to come. We can see great things. I just think maybe we do need something in the midfield, to really help the midfield a little bit. Hilo Solo says post Bayern has already played it, so their fitness is better. And Real Madrid. That's right. So there you have it. Bayern. They already played a game, so they lost to Arsenal. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Arsenal fans are, of course, they're going to be quick to say, yeah, we're better than Real Madrid. No. Calm down, Arsenal fans. This is always what happens, right? So let's not be too worried. We got an upcoming game, I believe, on the 23rd, so pretty soon. And I will be doing a match reaction for that one, just right after the game. I'll always let you know. Like I said, of course, follow me on the Instagram and Twitter. I'll always let you know there when I will be going live. And then also, I will also be letting you know on the YouTube channel. So I think that's all I have to say for you guys. I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys so much for tuning on. Matthias, Hilo Solo, Ramir Paper. Everyone who's been here, thank you so much. Appreciate it as always. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much and have a good day. Thank you.